The what behind the why. That's what we're going to be discussing in this episode of Forge Father FM. If you don't yet know who I am, my name is Travis Stetzel. I created the Forge Father, which is a personal development program for dads who have gotten a little fat and out of shape because they've been building wealth, building business, providing for their family, and they want to transform into a Forge Father. A lean, strong, fit, energized, confident, uncommon man. And so we got New Year's coming up right around the corner. And here's what most men are going to do. They're going to set goals. They're going to write down their goals. They're going to tell their wife about their goals. Maybe they'll tell their friends about their goals. They'll go on Facebook and post up all about their goals and the big things they're going to do. And you're going to hear guys talk shit. And they're going to say things like, this is going to be my year. I'm going to turn it around this time. I'll stick to it. I'm going to crush. I'm going to dominate. Beast mode on. All this nonsense. Because for about 85 to 90% of these men, that's what they say are the stats for people who set goals and New Year's resolution. They say 85 to 90% of them fail. And most of them fail before February even hits. Why? I'll tell you about why this happens here in a second. First, I just want to share what prompted me to share this, other than the fact we got New Year's coming up right around the corner. But I was asked myself, what are my big goals? What are my big targets for the upcoming year? What does my Operation Uncommon look like? And what that is the 12-month goal that I'm going to be shooting for in 2025. And it's not about the what. The what, the goals, the specific targets are one thing, but it's the what behind that matters most. It's the why. And so when I started to think about why I'm setting certain targets, why it is I do what I do, why am I speaking into this camera right now? It's because of my calling. It's because of my purpose. It's because of my why. We go years and years back. I was called to do this. I was called to do this by God. I was prompted. There was this vision inside of my mind of creating this gym, creating this place where people come in the front and they walk out the back, built like a fucking badass, unstoppable savage. That's how things started inside of the Forged Athlete Gym. Way back in 2008, 2009 is when I first started on this vision to build this movement. I wasn't 100% clear with what it was back then, but just something kept telling me to continue to show up, continue to find a way to get this thing started. Because I'll tell you, starting my own business, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of doubt, there's a lot of uncertainty, hesitation to do it. I didn't know if I was going to continue to make it, but I just kept my head down because I kept hearing this voice to build this thing. And I'll never forget this day. I'm in my gym and we're getting done with a session. And one of my clients, he was an older gentleman. He looks at me and he's like huffing and puffing. He's, hands on his knees, and he looks at me and he's like, Travis, you were born for this stuff. You were born to build badass men. And the hairs on the back of my neck, the hairs on my arms stood up when this man said that to me. And I knew right then and there that I was in the right place. I was doing the thing that I had been called to do. To inspire and impact men. And over the years, after I got married and became a father, it became even more clear. I've been put here to not only lead men, but to lead fathers. Fathers who want to be the best for their families. It's not just about looking good. It's not just about walking around jacked and lean and fit. That's just a small part of it. That's what helps us show up better so we can serve better. That's just a small part. Fitness is really the entryway, you see? Because there's hundreds of men that come into my program They come in fat. They come in overweight. They come in unhealthy. They come in with lacking confidence, lacking certainty. They come in being disgusted with what they see when they look in the mirror at themselves. They come in disconnected from their wives. They come in disconnected from their kids. They come in disconnected from God. And while they might be crushing it within their profession, they're crushing it within their business, they're empty. They're empty because every single time they see themselves in the mirror, they're reminded that they don't have it all. And they have this huge missing piece. And so we get that piece put in place. And there's nothing more fulfilling than to see a man come into the program who has been asleep for the past couple of years, just drifting through life, checking the boxes, fucking numb to the excuses that he's been feeding himself, numb to the stories that he's been telling himself, numb to the mediocrity that he has become. It's just become who he is. And then he steps into this world and he's challenged and he's tested. And I see this man come alive. I see it within how he talks. I see it with how he carries himself on a day-to-day basis. I see it through the relationships that he grows with his wife and his kids. Of course, I see it physically. That's awesome to see a guy come in, fat dad bod, soft, to get ripped and shredded. That's pretty powerful. But it's the changes that happen on the inside that impact and inspire the outside. And that's why I've been put here. That's my calling. That's my why. That's why when I wake up in the morning and I've barely gotten any sleep because my 15-month-old is sick and has an ear infection, and so I've been up with him all night, but I have a certain set of commitments that I need to uphold within my AM routine. It's easy for me to make the decision to do the work because I've been called to do the work. I've been called by God to do the work. And so to skip out on the work is to not listen to God. And so there's power behind the what. The goals that I've set for 2025, they're all interlinked back to my purpose. And so there's going to be days where I'm tired. There's going to be days where I'm fatigued. There's going to be days where shit has not gone my way. But guess what? I'm going to still show up and I'm still going to find a way to get shit done. And you can do it too. You can do it too. And this is where we're going to fix shit. So I mentioned how 85 to 90% of men who set goals for the New Year's, set resolutions, they never stick to them. They fail. They quit. They give up because they're setting these empty goals. They're just writing down the what's. What is it that I want to achieve? I think that'll be a good goal. I want to lose 40 pounds. How many fucking years have you wanted to lose 40 pounds now? If you're one of those guys, I want to get rid of my dad bod. But it's been 5 years now. And for the past 5 years, you've set the same target. You've told your wife how you're going to lose the weight. You've told your buddies how you're going to lose the weight. Hell, you probably do one of those holiday challenges where you do lose a little bit of weight and then it just all comes back on. Because the what has no powerful why behind it. It's not deeply rooted. And so that's how you conquer and overcome this endless cycle of starting and then stopping, starting and then stopping. I want this to be a completely different year for you. 2025, Operation Uncommon. If you want help with this, if you're a father who is sick and tired of being a fat dad with a soft body, out of shape, low on energy, low on confidence, and you want to finally change and transform to become a forged father, someone who is certain with how they look, certain with how they're showing up for their family, the confidence is just oozing out of you. Because when you look in the mirror, you can say, fuck yeah. That's a weapon right there. That's an asset right there. And I built it. You can say to yourself that you did it. You didn't take any shortcuts. You just did the work and you stuck to doing the work. So if you want this to be a different year for you coming up, go below this video, click on the link, schedule in to have a success call with myself or one of my coaches. Let's talk about what's been holding you back. Let's uncover the bullshit and let's eliminate the bullshit. Let's get rid of the excuses and let's level you up. It's time to become a Forge Father.